Fiends, and welcome back to another episode of
Let's Get Spooky.
I'm Leanna Vamp.
And I'm Ashley.
And today on the show, we are talking about...
Bugs.
We
love bugs.
We do.
We hate bugs.
No, I love bugs.
Well, we love to hate and we love to love bugs.
You hate them.
No, I don't hate them. I appreciate them, but we all have our quarrels with the bug species because when they're convenient, and when they suck, they fly in your face like mosquitoes. So we just need to reevaluate how we handle our bug species because they're detrimental to our livelihood.
Well, they're important to our livelihood. They can be detrimental. They can be pests. They can be things that we eat, which I know you love.
I have and we'll get to this. I have a different appreciation now. But
do you?
Yep.
Because of me?
Nope.
Oh.
Not because of you.
Dang it.
Not because of you, sweetie, because of Netflix. But no, bugs have been around for 412 million years, so we got to respect them because they're older than us and, they've been fucking with dinosaurs and
They've seen some shit.
They have seen some shit.
They have evolved. So I guess we can start where we always start and get our topic related to horror movies and shows. I know you had start with the Netflix thing because I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so I watched this documentary because as you have done for the past year, you have fed me bugs and I'm just like, fuck you, fuck your crickets, fuck your life. And so for me, I've been like, well, why do people eat these? And what is the real value of crickets and bugs and eating these when, at its core, when I'm walking in my daily life, mosquitoes are flying at my head and I wake up and I see a spider in my bathroom and I'm like, what are you doing, you asshole?
How did you get in here,
Are you a nuisance? Or are you conducive to my existence? And
are you a daddy long legs and I should keep you alive? Or are you like a brown recluse and I should smash you?
So then I stumbled upon this documentary called Bugs on on Netflix.
Is it newer? Older?
I don't know. It was new-ish, but I think it's basically a documentary about these two food scientists and basically I looked into a little bit of cricket protein and how that affected your body, but then I found this documentary and it's these two guys and they not only go into the nutritional value of the protein that bugs give you, but they were talking about how in 2050 there'll be over 9 billion people on the planet and we're going to have to produce more than 70% of our current food production. And so how are we going to get protein? How are we going to get all these things, nutrition, minerals. And they were bugs. Bugs are going to be the answer. And for me, I was like, I don't like bugs. Lena feeds them and I hate them. and she's like, bugs, crickets. And so I was curious. So I watched this documentary and it was actually super interesting where, there's obviously the people like us who will buy a cricket pack on Amazon and be like, wow, these are really cool and they're crunchy and they're great. And then we'll you'll see that introduced into chips and protein powder. And then when you look at these two guys who go to Africa and stuff, people are eating these bugs and there's a lot of zinc deficiencies and there's certain bugs that actually give that to them. So it's medicinal. And so that's really interesting to me because when I think about 2050, I'm like, that's kind of the apocalypse. We're getting close to the end with all these fires. And I'm like, okay, what are we going to have to look to in our current situation? And bugs have been around forever. And how do bugs help us?
Right.
During all of these things.
And it's a sustainable thing too. I mean, you think of trying to raise livestock and cattle, how much water, how much food source is involved in all of that and how easy it is to raise crickets. I mean, I don't think people, I guess, unless you're interested in it, you don't know. But when you go to the pet store and I get crickets for my tarantula all the time and there's just these big tanks and crickets breed pretty easily, pretty quickly with minimal resources. So it's definitely a sustainable thing. For me, my fascination initially started with bugs was international travel, going to places like Mexico and you would go to these carts and they just it's a giant cart of bugs, grasshoppers, crickets, worms.
And that's normal to them.
And it's a delicacy. And for me, it was more out of intrigue. It's not something I woke up one morning as I just want a bowl of crickets. That sounds delicious.
No, I mean, in certain parts, I was in the documentary, they go to different countries and continents. And in Mexico, there is a certain type of bug where it's a delicacy and they'll charge you like $1,300 for this certain bug, and they'll make like a taco out of it, and they'll give it to you, and you're like, that's like their caviar essentially.
Yeah. I've never had the $1,300 bug. I've had like the crickets, and they taste really good. I mean, they're like roasted, so they're just crunchy and they're flavored, so it doesn't really taste like. They taste a lot better than the bugs I'm feeding you that I'm getting off Amazon.
Yeah, those suck.
Not all of them. Some of them are very good.
Most of them.
But I totally agree. I see that fascination for me started out of intrigue, just wondering, like, this is really cool. These people have been eating these forever. Let me try them. And then it became kind of like a challenge to me. If someone was like, hey, try this thing or try that thing, I'm going to try it once. If it's awful, I probably won't eat it again. But everything to me is worth giving it one shot.
I would like to avoid explosive diarrhea, so I like to avoid that one shot, as Eminem would say, that one opportunity.
Well, you don't, as long as they're fully cooked, which I guess kind of brings me to...
These guys were not eating them fully cooked, though. These guys were like, there were certain types of bugs where they were alive, and then also, I forget which part, because I was working while I was watching this too, but they were putting these little, I don't know if they were maggots or they were some type of bug.
Like a grub worm?
Something like that. They were putting it in cheese, and then they were like wrapping it up.
Alive?
Yep. And they were wrapping it up, and then they were letting it fester in the cheese, and then they would eat the cheese, and they would still be alive. And so that was a different situation where it was like a different
the bug is surviving off of the food source, and then you eat the food with the bug in it. I mean...
That's where I'm like, I'm not diggity down.
Well... I can't have cheese, so I'm already out. But I don't know.
I can, but it makes me sick. But I'll do it for the love of the cheese.
So I also have a love-hate relationship with bugs of the creepy crawly variety. Not like spiders. I have a tarantula, and if you follow me on social media, you've probably seen my tarantula. It's really weird because as a child and as an adult, I still am afraid of spiders.
The little ones.
The little
ones that go fast.
The fast-moving little tiny ones that are just creepy looking because I talked about this in a previous episode. I've been bitten in the face by a spider. I've had really bad reactions from spider bites. So for me, it's not necessarily I'm afraid of them because I don't like spiders. I'm afraid of what they'll do to me if I get bitten by them. So Cameron, when we first were together, was like, he grew up with a tarantula and is like, well, we'll get a tarantula and that'll help you get over your fear of spiders.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, this isn't a great idea, but okay, we'll try it. So we got a tarantula. We've had her for pretty much a decade now. I love her. She's awesome. Still hate spiders. But it's different because she's
she's like a squirrel.
She's like a squirrel. Yes. She's furry. She's cute. She's still... Like most people think tarantulas are slow moving, lethargic. Like she can move if she wants to move. Yeah. She just chooses not to. Yeah. She's not threatened. So she's a really cool pet.
But I don't like when they shed their...
Oh, when they shed their skin?
That is terrifying.
So when they molt, it's really awesome to see. Most people don't see it. Most people that have tarantulas, or if you've seen a tarantula, a lot of people will like take off or they don't notice it happening. So it was maybe like 5 years ago. We were about to go somewhere and Cameron noticed that she was like ready. She was, when they molt, they flip over on their back. So she was laying on her back and all her legs were up in the air and he's like, oh, she's going to shed probably tonight. So he set up GoPros and we set up, I think, one of our phones and we time-lapsed it and we got her whole process of shedding, which I'll show you the video because once you see it happening, it's very different than coming back to a cage and thinking there's two spiders. Yeah. Because that's what most people think. They come back and they're like, oh shit, there's two spiders now. But the whole process, I think, took maybe 9.5 hours. Time-lapsed and we sped it up.
Giving birth.
Huh? Cameron says not that long, but I'm pretty sure, it takes a very, very long time. But we sped it up and it looks really cool to see them. It just looks like she's like contorting and twisting. And essentially what's happening is she grew too big in her current skin and she breaks out of it and reveals her new skin. And it's so awesome to see it happen because once she's molted, she's super vibrant. She's in perfect condition. And she just recently shed again, like maybe a month ago. But she's probably reached her max capacity. I think right now if she's laying kind of flat, she's as big as my hand, which is like as big as my face. She's a pretty big spider, but at about 10 years old, that's most likely she's not going to get much bigger than that. I was going to bring her. but I know you probably would have.
I've literally had a tarantula on my face, so I'm
like, so you're fine.
Yeah, I don't like the little ones. I like and I don't like to eat them.
No, I would never. So
because there are actually people, and I've seen it on YouTube where people you can get it in like a vacuum sealed package where you could eat it, and that's where I draw the line. Where I'm just like, that's weird. Like I can have a little cricket if you shove it down my throat, but I don't want to have like a thing with parts and hands and like it just feels like a little hamster or something, and I can't.
I think that if I wasn't, I think if I needed to eat it for survival, I would.
I wouldn't. I would just get really skinny.
But having a pet tarantula, so the company that I get a lot of our creepy treats from on Amazon, they have they don't call it. It's called like a rainbow tarantula or something. They have like a name for it, and it just looks like a Mexican red knee, like the kind that I have. Yeah. But they're just vacuum sealed bags of them, and every time I see it, I get really sad. But in a lot of countries, they're a delicacy, and people eat them. I don't know how much nutritional value a tarantula has.
It's weird because when I was looking up like cricket protein, because cricket protein powder was like a big thing, and it's been a big thing for the past like 3 or 4 years, and then like mainstream media and a lot of major grocery stores were like, no, like we're not going to carry this because that's gross. But it does have a lot of like nutritional like proteins, fatty acids, like amino acids, like all those things. Like you would be shocked to see how many things. So like maybe in other countries, like that is their main source of protein because like they might not have livestock available.
There's a brand, and I don't know if it's called Cricket or Cricket spelled differently, but it's a protein bar made out of cricket flour.
I've seen those.
Cameron's tried them before. I don't think I tried it. I think he did. He said it was pretty good. Yeah. But you think a lot of those protein bars, they all kind of taste that same like chalky protein.
It does, like because we had the chips and it tasted like it was like chalky Doritos.
Chips.
Yeah, I still have a bag.
I have like 3 bags still. I don't. They were good with salsa, but they're very just dry tasting.
It's like if you have like eczema as a chip.
They're eczema chips.
Eczema chips.
I mean, I'm sure there's a brand that we only tried one brand. I'm sure there's plenty of other brands that make them. Yeah. And we'll have to investigate further down the rabbit hole of cricket proteins.
We can now that I'm
willing
and able.
Yeah. So you fought me for like 22 episodes of this show.
The thing that I don't like, and it's kind of like the same thing with fish, is like I don't like eating something that I can see the head. Yeah. Like if I have like sushi, I'm good, but if there's a
full fish with eyeballs,
I will not touch it. Like I can't.
When we were in China, this was quite a few years ago, we went to this restaurant, and it was like just like a fancy restaurant, but it was all family style. So it was a giant round table, and it was just a huge Lazy Susan with a bunch of different dishes that just go around. They just keep going in circles around the table. And I remember like
a big old fish.
It was just a fish with the whole thing, and like someone taking their chopsticks and eating the eyeball. And I was like, but then we were in Mexico another time, and I had eyeball tacos and brain tacos and tongue.
I haven't fucked with brain. I fucked with tongue, but like it
was weird. It was a texture
thing. What kind
of
brain was it? Was it pig?
It was cow. Yeah. And thinking about it now, I'm like, I just feel terrible because, but I mean, to be honest, they're going to kill the animal. They're going to use all of the animal. Yep. So nothing goes to waste, which I appreciate that. But the eyeballs were probably the hardest to go down just because of like the gooey. It's what you imagine.
It's a gelatinous.
Yeah, and it pops. Yeah. And then there's stuff that comes out of it. It was tasty.
I'm such a textural person. That's why I can't fuck with the crickets. As like I can't even fuck with cat food. Like I honestly was thinking about it the other day. It's because someone was like,
no one should. Only for cats.
Well, because someone's like, you should get a cat because you look lonely. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Rude.
But then I was like, I don't really like the look of cat food. I don't like the smell. I don't like. I'm just like, I've realized in 2020 that I'm a textural person.
But okay, so what if you didn't see it?
What does that mean?
Because you're saying texture, but you're also incorporating the visual.
Cat food.
But what if something looked like cat food, but you couldn't see it and you just ate it and it was delicious?
No, but I was gonna go down the rabbit hole of being like, that's what tuna kind of makes me feel like it's cat food, and then I kind of throw up, and then I want to die.
Well, you had an unfortunate incident with a patty melt.
Yeah, but It's okay because I survived. But I would say texture is important. But I guess if we're gearing towards the apocalypse of 2050, then we have to start thinking about these things.
I mean, if you got to eat some cat food, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
We were at Disneyland. This was around beginning of Christmas time, and they had the holiday like food festival, kind of like Food and Wine. And there was a cart that it was a plant-based, it was Impossible meat, but it was upside down shepherd's pie. So it was like basically like the meat on top of potatoes, and then like a little crispy crust thing, like shepherd's pie, but open faced. And the meat was Impossible meat, and I remember they handed it to me. It smelled delicious, and I showed it to Cameron. He's like, "That looks like cat food," and it looked exactly like cat food.
And then you can't unsee it.
But we ate it, and goddamn, it was so good.
Yeah.
Like I immediately was like, if the taste is there, I can forego the texture problems.
Yeah. I'm very textural. I'm like I think my tongue is like from the like 1800s, and it's seen some shit. And it's like, no, we will not put that in because we've dealt with the plague and we've dealt with all the things.
We've had some unfortunate occurrences with food related things.
We've literally can barely handle avocados. I don't know why. I think my stomach has been more like abrasively like sad lately. Where like it just
can't. Gonna say since the avocado incident.
Well, it can't handle like anything, and I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll eat toast. Like it just
Toast
can't do
safe.
Can't do anything.
I have to say that I am proud of you because your whole I guess the way you're talking about the crickets and the cricket flour, and you're like talking about it in a way that's very positive.
I'm very positive about the future of us going into the apocalypse and us having to
eat bugs.
Because
before, I feel like if I would have said this to you like a week ago, you'd been like, no.
Backed with scientific research, I now understand why we have to mess with said bugs.
So basically you're saying you thought that I was full of shit and lying to you the entire time. And then some dude on Netflix convinced you.
I thought you were torturing me, which you were, because
I was not.
You were.
No, I was, as a friend, sharing the nutrition and love of crickets to your digestive system.
Well, I'm learning,
and now you appreciate
as
me.
Us both as appreciative bug connoisseurs. Is there a bug that actually terrifies you?
Yes. So I don't like, and I don't know if it's the centipede or the millipede. Which one's the poisonous one?
Kind of sounds like a caterpillar,
Centipede
doesn't it?
Or millipede, or both. One's poisonous, one's not. Centipede is poisonous. So when I was maybe 13 or 14, I was in my room and I had my TV up on like a dresser, but it was like a high dresser. But I would always lay on the floor and just like lay on my back and watch TV with a pillow. And I was laying on the floor as I did, watching TV with a pillow behind my neck, and my knees were like bent. And I see something crawl like under, like imagine your knees are up bent, crawl under my legs. And I just remember seeing it go under, but not seeing it come out. And it was, I don't know if it was a centipede or a millipede. I'm assuming it was, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter because I never found it ever again. I did not go back into my room for a week. I closed the door. I put a towel under the door because I didn't see where it went. I checked under the bed. I called my dad. I cried. I was like, I don't know what that thing is. It probably was a millipede. It was probably
long,
harmless.
Right?
It was long.
Kind of like a caterpillar, right?
Kind of like a caterpillar, but it
was
long.
Scary, yeah?
It was black and it moved very quickly, and then I never found it. And I thought I like sealed it off in the room and it died, but we never found it. So it probably went under my legs and crawled out of the room.
Millipedes look like roly-polies. They're really, really long. They move slow. Centipedes are the ones
It moved fast.
Yeah, centipedes.
Oh, it was a centipede. Yeah, and it had the little... So those things I am not a fan of. I don't like anything that has a lot of legs and moves very quickly.
Kinda
I wouldn't mess with that.
Well, caterpillars move slow.
The caterpillars are cute, and they do like the little...
They suck. They fucking suck.
They're so...
But I'm glad we both are bonded by the fact that we don't like long insect items.
With lots of legs.
With lots of legs.
It was so gross. And I just remember, like, I don't think I've ever jumped from the floor into the air faster in my entire life. And I still to this day don't know where... It was fucking huge. Like, where did it go?
Well, like, it's just weird too to think about, because I was reading, there was this article, because like insects, like we don't think about it. Like we're in this room right now, and like I will go outside and I'll get an Uber, and there's probably like bugs flying around me, but I don't think about it. And there's like shit in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
But they were saying that 2/3 of the 1.9 million species that have been found and documented have been bugs. And they're like, well, actually, there's probably 9 million bugs on this planet, and we don't even. It's kind of like
undiscovered.
It's kind of like how I think about marine biology, where I'm just like, we're not looking far enough into the whales, motherfucker. And I'm just like,
go that deep.
Let's not go to Mars. Let's figure out our shit. But there's so many fucking species.
Yeah.
And it's this thing where like I don't think about it, but at the same time, it's fascinating because we think about like mammals and humans and how we function and like our breathing, and like it's weird because bugs, like, they don't even breathe through their mouths. Like they breathe through like holes in their bodies and shit. And like to even
like
understand,
gills, essentially.
Kind of like they have a different like blood structure. They have like, there's all these different facets to bugs, like that are almost prehistoric and like dinosaur like, or like when you think of cockroaches, where they can live like a week with their heads cut off because they have a different.
And so a lot of people are terrified of a friend that is terrified of cockroaches, to the point where like she will cry and like hate you.
I don't mind them. I just smash them.
I don't really mind them either. The only thing I think cockroaches are associated with the stigma of like infestation and being in places that they shouldn't be, like out in the street or whatever. Like, that sucks. But it's, as long as they're not like in your home, like leave them alone. They're not doing anything wrong. But they are a little shits.
They're little
you,
shitheads.
Can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
One thing that, and I know we've talked about this on previous episodes, is the show that I am like strangely addicted to, is The Monsters Inside Me. Have you watched that?
I feel like you've mentioned it.
It's the one where like people have these crazy health things and they end up tracing them back to like a bug or a parasite or something, a monster inside of their body.
That's like my literal nightmare. Because
So
I have a fear of a bug crawling in my ear when I sleep, but that's a different story.
And I was going to look up, and I completely spaced on it beforehand, the stats of how many bugs we eat in our
it's
sleep.
2 pounds.
2 pounds, right?
2 pounds a year. Yeah, I was gonna, because I have trivia for later, and I was gonna ask that question, but I just fucked it up. So
You
whatever.
just gave me the answer, so
it's
I'm
2
gonna get one right.
pounds of bugs.
That's pretty nasty.
We eat and we inhale.
Throughout our lifetime.
Yeah.
I've inhaled quite a few. Like I remember,
sucking up mosquitoes through the nostrils.
Yeah, I remember riding down. I grew up on a really steep street, and I remember we would go to the top of the street and we would ride our bikes down. And it was me and my brothers. And I remember one time riding into a ball of gnats.
Yeah.
You ever walked into it? My mouth was open, my eyes were open, and a
ball of gnats.
Like, gnats. Like a thing of gnats, but it's like a big ball of them. And my mouth was open because I was very excited riding my bike. So I'm pedaling and I'm like, and straight into my mouth. And then I choked. And then, like it'll get stuck in your nasal
cavity. It was 2 pounds though?
It was not 2 pounds. It was maybe like an ounce.
Yeah.
An ounce
Moral
of gnats.
to the story though, if you gain 2 pounds a year, it might just be bugs and not your fat tendencies.
Well,
like it could just be not the dominoes, but the bugs.
Well, also, but if you're inhaling them, hopefully you have a good digestive system and they don't... They go through you.
Yeah.
You don't keep them.
Do gnats give you diarrhea?
I don't know. I choked on them and then I coughed and then I sneezed. They came out of my nose. So I feel like I inhaled a small portion of them. Most of them went out of my...
It's weird. It's just weird to think like that we ingest so many. And it wasn't even just like when we're sleeping. It's like it's through food. Like it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, like when you're eating produce and stuff, there might be a fucking weird cricket leg or like whatever, like there's just weird shit like in like hamburger and like meat and
there's
everything.
Is it the food and drug FDA, right? There's a certain percentage of bugs that are allowed into foods, whether they're in the grocery store, in a restaurant, whatever. I remember, I think applesauce, I forget how many.
Oh, applesauce fucked up.
Yeah, what the percentage of like that is acceptable, because you figure there's bugs in the apples or there's fruit flies or whatever.
There was always little things in my Mott's apple sauce.
I don't think.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know if it was ever apples or like little eggs, but I was always just like, because I used to addictively dip my chicken fingers in applesauce, like, and it's so good. But I got
Cameron's over there nodding his head. Did you do that?
It's so good. I've
never done that.
It is a lit delicacy
Like what
of the
kind
white
of
variety.
applesauce? Like
Mott's applesauce.
like the cinnamon flavored?
Doesn't matter. Just anything.
Huh. I love applesauce.
Dip it and eat it.
Okay.
Okay. But anyways, there was
Dip
like
it and eat
there was
it.
like little items where I was like, that might be a leg or that might be a piece of apple. We don't know.
I think that it could have been either or, but I know that there was
Could have been an antenna.
it could have been an antenna or like a little fibrous.
I've actually not fucked with applesauce since I was like 13.
Really?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do.
We
Eat
should have a
applesauce.
dipping challenge where
Okay.
we dip multiple items.
We dip
Yep.
bugs in
Yep.
applesauce.
No, well, we can dip like
you said yes first.
Let's do French fries and shit, but let's do human
We'll do a what do you call the board? A charcuterie board of applesauce
Yeah.
and dipping things.
Yes, we shall.
Okay.
We shall.
You guys get to look forward to us eating applesauce.
But
and bugs.
I did want to, well, first of all, because we always talk about this, is like, is there ever any like classic movie or like something that resonates?
Bug movies?
Yeah.
So there's a ton of like, I mean, when I think of bug, I wrote a bunch down, but I think about like The Fly.
Me too. Yes, with Jeff
Arachnopho-
Goldblum.
Arachnophobia. Like,
Yeah.
I think as a child that was obviously didn't like spiders, but then seeing arachnophobia and watching it now, it's like super cheesy and like,
yeah, it's so bad.
But
And
at the time I was terrified and it definitely sparked my initial fear of spiders.
so The Fly freaked me out too.
Oh, hell
It was
yeah.
just like, it's like Cronenberg, so he's gonna make it really bizarre. But it's just like he's in this like incubator and he pops out and there happens to be a fly in there. And then like for me, like we were actually talking about this a few hours ago where like I went to like a floating sensory deprivation tank, and like when I think of tanks I'm just like, oh fuck, like I'm in this thing. But like the idea of being stuck in a thing and then having something happen to you, and
No,
I don't know, like it's just like the way, I think because it was also in the 1980s where it was like super weirdly done, where
Yeah.
like there was these weird things coming out of his skin, and then I don't know. And also Jeff Goldblum looked like he had a very bad perm, and
and hair is
we
important.
appreciate him now, but at the moment he was looking a little rough.
He was an unfortunate perm accident.
But that was kind of my favorite bug associated horror movie.
Yeah, that's definitely a classic for me. One that I liked that is more of like kind of like sci-fi horror, a little bit of comedy is Slither. I don't know if you've ever seen
I've
Slither.
never seen it.
Slither is a great, I think it was 2006. But there's so many bug related movies, shows, and I think that there's a fascination with people of like wanting to watch it because in real life, there's no way you would, like if someone was like, here, eat this, us doing the things that we do, we're a little bit more apt to be like, oh, let me try that. But like the normal person, a lot of people would be like, are you crazy? No, I'm not putting that in my mouth, or I'm not going to touch that. And one show that is no longer around, I think it came back, but I'm not I never watched it, was Fear Factor.
Yes, I was gonna say no, because they would like stick people in tanks and they'd be like, oh, let's just throw all these bugs in your body.
Yeah, and I think
I loved that shit.
I don't remember the first Fear Factor was with Joe Rogan. The MTV brought it back. What I looked up is they brought it back in 2019.
Yeah, they did.
But did you watch it?
No.
I never saw it. It was with
and
Ludacris.
also, like, fuck Ludacris. But he makes good music. I do listen to it on Spotify. Holler at me. But also,
Holler at me.
Holla. We don't know where your career's at, but holler at me.
Was the initial Fear Factor the same $55,000, the grand prize?
I think so.
Because I feel like for $55,000, I'm going to probably do a lot of things that normally, like if you just asked me to do it, I'd be like, screw you, no. But if $55,000 were up for
you
grabs.
can buy a sweet Prius and some in and out with that.
But so I was thinking, if Fear Factor comes back, would you do it? Like
would I do it for $55,000?
Yeah, if we were to apply for it or sign up or
from what I remember, did they have to eat anything?
They did. It was basically you signed a release and like anything can happen.
But I do think, like, as we were talking about in a few episodes earlier, like with the whole McKinney Manor thing, like there is such an elevated exponential level of fear out there at this point. Maybe Fear Factor is like not adequate enough. Like maybe that's not that bad.
Well, I think when I was looking up, they got canceled. I think it was in 2006. So it's been quite a few years. Again, I haven't seen the new one.
That's because the Real Housewives came in and they were like, we want bitch drama, not bug drama.
Not bug drama. But they were saying that, I think it was on NBC, like they had some issues because they were asking people to drink donkey semen. And I don't know if that's why they got canceled or like there was just an article that said that.
Nasty.
I don't know if that's actually probably not the actual reason, but would
I wouldn't do that.
For $55,000?
Nope. What if I was impregnated with a donkey
You can't
child?
be impregnated by drinking
I don't
donkey
want to.
semen.
I can't even drink low fat half and half
Cameron's like,
without it feeling like semen.
I mean,
like I just can't.
Here's the thing. If I knew...
Also, your computer is like attracting this light source.
We have a thing over here.
Okay.
We learned what it was called when we went live earlier. It's called
probe.
a plasma.
Plasma
not
probe.
called a probe.
A probe. Oh, an alien probe.
It's
Sending
called a
us donkey semen from above.
Plasma orb. So no, you don't have to blow the donkey.
No, you don't blow the donkey. It's not a shot. Anyways, I would not.
Cameron over there is clearly thinking very dirty.
I can barely handle.
Out when you blow a donkey, so that's disgusting.
Gross. Okay, no one's asking you.
I will not say much, but I can barely handle the human species. I don't want to take on a donkey unless I really love it. But even then, I'm like, I'll take a hard pass. I'll take a shot of tequila.
I don't think they had to drink a lot of semen. I don't think that was I think that was like the last straw. But they did have to eat, what's the thing where they eat the balls and it's a delicacy?
What's the thing when they eat the balls? Yes, like I have that in my brain.
It's called Rocky Mountain oysters, right?
Oh yeah, no, those are like chill.
But that's still balls.
But it's not human balls.
It's not donkey. It's not human semen. It's donkey semen.
Yeah, but if you don't think about it, like I would eat balls over brains. Not as... I would take brains over balls as like a male in my life, but as an edible...
Semen is made and it's contained
in the balls. So you would still have...
No, but it's cooked.
I mean, you'd have cooked semen.
No, they take it out. They go...
Nope. I've never seen Rocky Mountain oysters being made, but I don't think
I don't think if you're going to pay for a Rocky Mountain oyster, they would attach semen as the condiment.
No one's going to put a side of semen on it.
Is it deep fried?
I've never had them because I don't want to eat balls.
I've seen them on the internet. I don't want to eat them either, but we're in the 2020
Okay, well, back to
scenario.
Fear Factor. If we're on a team and we have to, like,
we each eat one ball, I guess.
I'm the eating thing or eating or drinking or whatever would suck, but I don't think that would be as bad as like when they would put people in a tank and they would cover them in scorpions or they would cover them like snakes, tarantulas. I wouldn't care.
I don't know. I think both are bad because I would have a gag reflex to any semen that's put in my mouth, regardless of who it came from. But also, I would not feel good with like being in a tank because like then they have to get you out.
No, it's not really like it's just like a square. Like you're not like submerged. They just lay you down and then throw bugs on you. So basically you're saying don't sign up with you because you're going to probably say no.
I will probably say no.
Damn it, we're going to lose. Okay.
See, I would actually convulse more than like if someone put a bunch of shit from Claire's in a tank. Like fuzzy shit from Claire's, like unicorn shit and like pom-pom earrings.
Well, see, now you're telling them. And when you're on Fear Factor, I'm pretty sure they research your biggest fears and then make them a reality. So stop talking.
But if it's for $55,000.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's different right now if I'm like, eat this or drink this or here, let me throw this bug on you because you're doing it because you're my friend. But if someone's like, do it because you can possibly win $55,000, I feel like things change.
As a broke bitch, I would say, let's play the game.
Okay.
But
so when the casting comes out, I'm signing us up.
But I don't want donkey semen in my mouth.
You can put that on your application. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think
no,
because
I would make them want it more. And I'd be like,
yeah, I don't think that's.
I can't even handle tuna melts. What the fuck?
I had so much faith in you when you were talking highly about the cricket things, and I was like, oh, she's totally going to be down to sign us up. We're going to do it. And then I feel like it would be me.
Are they actually doing?
Oh, I don't know. But I feel like if they did it for 2019, they might do at another one.
I don't know.
But
well,
neither of us
that's
saw it.
abusing bugs when we have them for bigger things. But I did have some things, and I was looking up like interesting facts about bugs because I was like, we don't really appreciate bugs enough. Like they're fucking cool as shit, and I fucking hate them and I love them. Blah blah blah. But I found some interesting facts that like we don't think about as humans because we're like going about our daily lives, but there was some interesting trivia that I thought I would quiz you on.
Playing games.
We're
Okay.
going to play a quick game right now.
Okay.
Ding, da, da, ding, ding. Insert like musical thing. Blah. On this day in age, how many insects are killed by cars
Oh, like
per month?
per month. Like how many pounds? How many gallons?
Just bugs, little bugs.
Oh, like
Any-
a number.
Yep.
2 million.
You want to guess again?
Hey, no one's asking you. 7 trillion. 20 billion. Could this be multiple choice?
Okay, is it 19 million, 90 million, 3.8 billion,
3.8 billion.
or 3.3 billion?
3.8 billion.
It's 3.3 billion.
I knew I should have said 3.3 billion. Every day?
Yeah.
By cars?
Yeah, it
We
says
have way too many
the front of
cars.
the car is at least 40 times as large as the surface of a plate. This means that the cars hit around 133 billion insects every month. In half a year, that is 800 billion insects. So in 6 months, 800 billion insects die
That's sad.
from our bullshit. Not in LA because we drive slow because traffic sucks.
Well,
but
when we were in Florida, I think this was last year, there was one time we rented a minivan and we had a white minivan and it was love bug season. So I don't know if you've ever been to Florida when the love bugs are out and they're basically like little bugs and they're like humping in the air. And they're like probably the size of my fingernail. Like they're pretty big with their wingspan.
they're just like,
And they're just making love. They're just, I mean, they're not like trying to attack you
I
or
did that
anything.
move and it said undo typing. And I was like,
But we had parked the minivan and we were going inside somewhere and we looked at the front of it and like the front of our minivan was just black. It was white before, but we'd killed so many love bugs because they're everywhere.
too much love.
Too much love.
We
too
don't
many
like
bugs.
love. We kill it. We kill it with kindness.
But to be fair, if we didn't have like a lot of those bugs that you're killing are like gnats or flies, if you didn't have that, would we be overrun by bugs?
I don't know.
Because that's a lot of bugs
Did
to
the
be
world
alive
want us to
every
have
day.
vehicles? We don't know.
I don't know.
But
Next trivia question.
okay, so in the world of love and light, we all love bullshit and we love to surround ourselves with scents and candles and crap. And if I was a Scorpio, what would be the scents that I do not like in my life?
What does this have to do with bugs?
A scorpion is a fucking
Oh,
a scorpion. If I was a scorpion and I was trying to reach my maximum zen, what would I not appreciate?
I thought you
right
said
now?
if I was a Scorpio, and I was
No.
like, I don't
No.
understand.
Scorpios
the question.
are a different animal, and we don't
Yes.
fuck with those. But if I was a scorpion,
What scents would you not like? Lavender.
yes.
I hate lavender.
Yep.
Oh, I guess I'm part
There's
scorpion.
3.
And fragrances, lemon.
I mean, it's one of them something you could put on a food.
Ketchup.
No, that's not a scent, sweetie.
Oh.
Try again.
What kind of scent do you put on a food? Lemon?
No, that's not,
Lemon is a scent.
no, you're wrong. Synonym. Synonym. Scorpions
Wait.
don't fuck with synonym.
Cinnamon?
Synonym. Cinnamon.
I love how you just tried to school me and said scorpions don't fuck with synonym.
They don't fuck with synonyms or cinnamon. And together they make synonym.
There's
Because Lord knows they didn't get their education because they couldn't afford it in this fucking situation we have in America.
oh my god, lavender, synonym, and what else? You said there's 3.
Yep.
What? I need a hint.
Christmas time.
Christmas tree,
No.
pine,
No.
pine cone,
No. You put it in your mouth, bitch.
mint, peppermint.
Yes. They don't. So
Ah.
if you, I guess, are living in the desert and you're a scorpion hater, you would want to put out peppermints, cinnamons, and lavenders. Cinnamons, bitch.
Cameron hates scorpions. Did
Take
you catch
that to Urban Dictionary and check it out, hoes. Synonyms.
Synonyms. Next trivia question.
Okay.
This is a great
This
game.
next question is a little bit sentimental.
This next question. This is my this is my favorite episode yet. This is great.
No.
Okay, next question.
This is gonna get sentimental if I can fucking get my shit together. Do bugs feel pain when you squish them?
Of course they do. Everything feels pain.
I wouldn't say that.
How do you know? Are you in their mind?
As far as entomologists are concerned, insects do not have pain receptors the way vertebrates do. So they do not feel pain, but they feel irritation, that they feel that they're damaged, but they don't feel death. So when you squish them, they don't actually feel like you're killing them. It's not like when you kill a human and you're like, oh, fuck, I got stabbed.
If you...
It's like they just feel like, oh, oops, something's wrong. And then they just eventually shit the bed.
I mean, it makes me feel less bad about like killing a spider or like stepping on an ant or whatever. But I feel like, how do they know that? Like, did the spider
they don't have like fully functional brains like we do too. So it's like they're like their whole system is different. Their lungs are different. Their
I mean, I get that. Their nervous system is different.
Blood, the way that they don't have arteries. They have a different system. So like the way that things are actually like interpreted, like when we die, like our brains interpret death differently. Like not that I'm like a murderer, but if they're like slit in the throat,
you're talking about a lot of slitting of throats, not stabbings.
No, like, but I'm just saying, like, as someone who knows the difference between a human and a bug, you know, like you just shit's made differently. Like that's why cockroaches are made differently, where like they can actually get their head cut off, and because their circulatory system and their
I guess that makes sense.
It's a different vibe.
Yeah. I mean, I get
cockroaches are a different vibe. 2020, look it up. Put that bitch. On the shirt. Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Why do bugs fly in your face?
Because they're attracted to your scent.
Not so much your scent.
They're attracted to your temperature. They're attracted to your beautiful eyeballs.
Nope.
They want to fly in your mouth.
No. Actually, specifically, they're attracted to carbon dioxide, which we exhale. So
they do want to fly in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You found that out about mosquitoes. Remember we're watching?
Oh God, yeah. So mosquitoes, also on Monsters Inside Me. This one kid gets this. I think it was like a brain parasite that he got from being bitten by a mosquito. But they are attracted to carbon dioxide, right? Not monoxide. We breathe in, breathe out. Yeah, so that makes sense.
We throw out dioxide because we're not. Monoxide kills you.
Right. We don't want the monoxide. We want the dioxide.
Yeah. So that's why they fly at your face, which is annoying as shit because you would think that they would just piss off, but they're actually like, oh wow, like they're attracted to you. So I take it as a compliment. I'm like, you know what? Men are annoying, but at least these mosquitoes are attracted to my dioxide.
They want your dioxide.
Final question. Where do bugs breathe from?
You said this earlier.
I did. Did you listen?
I did. And they have not gills, but orifices on their body.
Holes called what? What's a hole? What is a hole?
An orifice.
What's a hole?
Oh, a round thing.
What's a name for a round thing?
A hole.
What is this? What is that?
A dome.
Nope. It starts with an
globe.
S. Nope. Starts with an S.
A sphere.
Yes. Sphericals. Bugs breathe from sphericals on their bodies, not from their face. So it's not like they are like.
So if you like puts a little tiny piece of scotch tape over their mouth,
they don't give a shit.
Yeah. They would still alive.
And also a fun fact that I learned is spiders don't close their eyes when they sleep, which I didn't put in my notes.
They don't have eyelids.
Cool. Yeah. So they're just kind of like.
Yeah, like our little spider, she's got her little eyeballs on top of her head, and you can.
She don't sleep. So that concludes my
How did I do? I think
trivia.
I did pretty okay.
I don't know. You did. We
you gave me all the answers, but
we got a little sidetracked with some donkey semen and such. But like we got
that was a long time ago.
It started it though.
So I found an article of things that like never do this, never do that. Which after watching the show Monsters Inside Me, what I've learned is never go outside, never eat anything, never just live in a bubble and you'll be fine. Because if you try to go outside and you try to go anywhere, bugs will like infiltrate your body and you will get a brain parasite and die. So
hide your holes, hide your wife, hide your kids, all the things.
plug up your sphericals.
Plug up, don't breathe, live your best life. 2020.
So this is like most horrifying tales, bug related things. So the first one is never use a blow dryer. So this person just wait. You're never going to want to do anything after this. This person hadn't used their blow dryer for a few months, and when they turned it on, a colony of millions of tiny cockroaches exploded into their face.
From the blow dryer?
Like the cockroaches basically went into the blow dryer and were like nesting in there.
So not in my case, because like I have a 1991 Conair.
Oh, so it would just like
it
they
does
would combust.
It catches on fire, but it doesn't attract cockroaches.
But millions
I'm
of cockroaches,
good.
I feel like it would like
Millions in one
million, little tiny, like there was the nest.
little bitch ass ones.
Yeah, tons of them.
Okay.
So
Cool.
don't
Cuts off all of my hair.
use your blow dryer on a daily basis, or at least turn it on once a week so the cockroaches don't go in there.
Vacuum seal it.
Never go camping, and this is kind of a thing that I think whether you go camping or go sleep in your bed upstairs or whatever.
Don't sleep, guys. Don't sleep.
So this person woke up in the middle of the night with a tingling in their throat and mouth. They put their chin down to look at their chest, and they saw moths crawling on their chest. And
Wait, I had a nightmare about this.
2 moths had climbed inside of the person's mouth while they slept. So they woke up like choking on them because they were going down its throat. I don't know if they were going down its throat, but they were just like walking around. So he woke up choking and then coughs them out. So there was like a family, or I don't know, and they were probably all going to go in his mouth, but only 2 got in there and he was woken up to.
Wait, I had a nightmare about, like, and I'm dead
Moths?
serious. Like, I had a nightmare about moths burrowing into my chest, and like it was really weird. And like, and
You have
then
to check the
no,
dream
but and
book.
then I had a client that asked me for a moth album cover, and like I felt like it was like this weird thing
It's a
where like,
sign.
but no, but like my actual nightmare sucked ass. Like the album cover was great, but it like I could feel it. Like they were like burrowing and
Oh, nasty.
fuck.
I mean, we always get moths in the house, like in the lamps, and we take them and.
I smushed them real quick.
That's mean.
Okay.
Don't. You got to catch and release. Catch, release.
Are you a catcher and releaser for all bugs in your home?
Ants, not so much, because ants are
Ants
just
suck.
ants suck.
There's a lot.
Cameron will save everything, like even ants. I would say that I am typically a catch and releaser. If it's a moth, I'll handle it. Bees, because we have bees. We get bees in the house all the time.
I've never had a bee.
Which we obviously catch them and release them, because a lot of the times they're just attracted to the light. So they'll come in because they think it's the sun. So then we have to take them out and then place them close to their hive so they can go back home, because at nighttime they don't know how to get back home. But for the most part, catch and release.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
sure.
I don't have bees. I have cockroaches because I'm in East Hollywood, and it's known that
Those I wouldn't say is like catch and release is
those
not
are like
necessary.
catch and throw off the cliff,
because they're just going to come back.
Yeah, I throw those off my patio, and I feel no shame because I know they're gonna live.
And they don't feel
They'll
pain
still
when they
have
hit
their
the
head when they
ground.
hit the ground. Yeah.
So next on the list is never drink chocolate milk.
What?
I mixed up a glass of Nestle's Quick and ice cold milk. Yum! Exclamation point. At the first mouthful, I felt something odd and huge on my tongue. I spit out a huge cockroach into the sink. So I don't know if it was just in his glass. It obviously wasn't.
Wait. Oh my God.
Or was it in the powder?
Speaking of this, so one of my last memories of living on the East Coast dealt with me dealing with a bug in my drink. And
Ooh, was it a cockroach?
it was from, I don't know if this is going to ruin it for you. It's from Dunkin' Donuts. And
I'll ruin it.
I
Was it an iced coffee?
yep.
Oh no.
And I was in Derry, New Hampshire. And if this is still in business, fuck you, because you didn't give me a nice new free drink. I got a nice coffee through the drive-thru, and I poked my straw, and I was sipping, and I looked through the lid, and there was a big fuzzy moth in it, hanging out at the top.
Well, it probably just got trapped in there.
I
You
didn't
should
like
have released,
Nope.
and it would have went.
It was dead.
Oh,
No, it
dead.
wasn't alive.
Well, then that was just probably in the ceiling and just fell.
But this was
unfortunately.
like one of the last memories of like me living on the East Coast, being like, I'm
And they
gonna
didn't
go
give
back.
you a new drink?
I was like, I'm gonna go back to my hometown, and I'm gonna get a nice drink of the Dunks. Because like it's weird because like in like New Hampshire, like in our hometown, there's like nothing, and then there's like 14 Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, so it's like something you can rely on.
You're
know
like,
it's
that's my
there.
nostalgia, the Dunks.
Yeah, and then they lead you astray with the moth and the drink.
The moth.
I mean, at least it was a moth and it was dead and it was floating, and it wasn't like you stabbed the straw in and sucked it up through.
Yeah, but I would have if I didn't see it.
Next on the never list is never play a recorder. So this
I love recorders. My pastime.
This person said they were I must have been about 10 years old and had a recorder for music class. I hadn't played the thing in months and found it lying on my closet floor. First of all, don't put the recorder in your mouth after it's been on the floor. That's gross. When I put the recorder to my mouth, several earwigs that had inhabited the instrument decided to go into my mouth to make a better home. Well, first of all, again, don't put something on the floor and then put it in your mouth.
Also, if you're playing a recorder, blow out and don't suck.
Right. Clearly, you don't deserve to be
those
on
hoes
this.
out.
Kit, you don't deserve to be on this list. You're just not very smart.
You're not a good instrumentalist. You're not Danny Elfman.
Yeah. Put that recorder back on the floor. So this one says, never go to sleep. Ugh. I didn't even read this whole list earlier. It says,
I'm getting itchy.
I woke up in my bed covered in hundreds of centipedes. So this person put in parentheses, it says the non-poisonous northern ones.
That doesn't help.
Oh, Cameron's nodding.
Doesn't
so
matter.
I guess, he said, they were curled up next to my head, crawling all over my face, even curled around my nether regions. I have no idea why it happened, as it never did again. Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't want things to crawl in my ears. That's like a thing.
Yeah, in your ears where
I
you can't
literally
get it out.
Which is probably why I'll die alone. I sleep with like a blanket like wrapped around my head. Like,
you could just have earplugs.
No, because this is like
I can still get under the blanket.
This is like my favorite.
Oh, it's like a security thing.
The blanket.
So next is never clean. This one says, when I was a teenager, I worked as a motel maid. One day while I was cleaning a room, I noticed there was a ton of dust on the very top of the blinds. These windows went all the way from the floor to the ceiling. So I had to use one of those super long dusting things on the wands and stand directly underneath in order to reach them. Then all the dust started falling in slow motion. Then I realized it wasn't dust, but several hundred baby spiders.
Living or dead?
And it said they were raining onto my face, into my hair, down my shirt, probably alive because they were moving. And then she said, she had to pick the baby spiders off of herself and then took the longest shower of her life. So at least she took them or shook them off and didn't just go run into the shower because the baby spiders didn't mean to do anything. She ruined their home. They were just trying to live and she dusted them onto herself. So that's her own fault.
No.
Nope. Moral of the story, always get a ladder and check for baby spiders before you dust places you can't see. Never have a Christmas tree. I went to tie a bow around one of the presents and noticed a moderately sized bug on the floor. I looked around the room to see dozens upon dozens, probably hundreds of these bugs everywhere. They were baby praying mantises. It says it seems a praying mantis had laid eggs on their Christmas tree, and the warmth from the lights made them hatch early. That is so cool. I love praying mantises. I mean, that if you don't know what they are and they're tiny.
I'm getting so itchy right now.
So in the springtime, we always have praying mantises in this one planter area in the backyard. And I love them so much. I always capture them. I hold them. They're so cool. Their little legs.
Yeah, they're dope. But I don't want them chilling with my festivities.
Yeah. I mean, that sucks. Hopefully they were able to catch them and release them because those little guys are really cool. Oh no, there's a little graphic and it has a praying mantis
to hell
with the circle and an X and it says go to hell. Well, that's not nice, Kendra. Gotta release those. Oh, never jump in a pile of leaves.
That I actually from my childhood, my parents are always don't do that. You'll get a tick.
Oh yeah.
Ticks are the worst.
Yeah. It said, let me read it first. It says, when I was 7, I decided it would be fun to jump in a huge pile of leaves in my backyard. It probably would have been fun if it hadn't been a hornet's nest in it. Oh no. 26 stings, and many years later, I still cry when a bee comes near me. Well, to be fair, we're going to circle back to bees. Hornet stings are definitely way more intense than a bee sting. Although bee stings are not fun. I've had many of them.
I've never gotten stung by a bee.
It never feels good. I've probably been stung maybe a dozen times. And I swell up like crazy. Yeah. It's the whole thing. You saw me.
Are you allergic to them?
I'm not allergic.
Because I'm allergic to black flies.
Well, if you've never been stung by a bee, I mean, there's no
that fucks me up.
You don't know until you get stung by a bee, and you don't really want to find out that you're allergic by being stung. So I am a beekeeper. And one thing that is actually a super important thing that happened in 2019 is bees were named the most important species ever in the
More
world
than us.
of all time. Like the most important thing. If the bee population becomes extinct, we die very quickly after that.
Yeah, because bugs are detrimental to all. It's not just bees; it's like a lot of things. Like
pollinators, like bees, like bats are also the nighttime pollinators, which I also soon will be getting bat houses, so we will have bees and bats. But
all the bees.
Yeah, bees are amazing little creatures. Yeah, when they sting you, it sucks. But one important thing to remember when a lot of people will see like a swarm of bees and they freak out and they want to call pest control and they want to get rid of it. When you see a swarm of bees, all they're doing is resting. The bees are moving to try to find a new home. And when you see a swarm, they're taking a break, resting before they move to their final home. So don't be alarmed. Chances are they'll be there for maybe a day, 2 at most, and then they'll be gone. But if a bee flies into your face or you like see one around you, do not swat them because bees are also very clumsy. So they're not trying to attack you. If it's just one, chances are you just walked into their flight path and they just bumped you.
I'm klutzy too, so I feel like we could actually like
you
coexist.
can appreciate.
Yeah.
So just don't like freak out. Let them do their thing. They'll probably just bounce off of you and go their way. If you swat them, you will piss them off and they will probably sting you. And they don't want to sting you because they're going to die. But if they feel threatened, they will. So I'll stop there because I could talk about bees for like a whole another hour. And they also produce delicious honey.
Yeah, they do. And we love that shit.
And we do.
But you're not allergic to any bugs at all?
I am allergic to spider bites. Certain spiders, and I don't know what type because I obviously never see the type of spider bite me. Most mosquitoes. So I'm not allergic in the sense where I go into anaphylaxis and my throat closes up. I just swell up. So say that we got bit by a mosquito. Most people would just have like a tiny raised bump.
That's how I am with black flies. Where like I remember
get like a golf ball.
The first time I got one, it was like here, and I went to school the next day, and someone was like, "Why do you have 2 elbows on one?" Like, one?
Yeah,
that's
You're
weird.
Like that's just a bug.
I'm like but I didn't know. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like, fuck.
So there's
I had a thick boy bite me.
Some people are more susceptible to bug bites, and it's usually like your scent. It's usually your blood.
Yeah.
So they say like
I have sweet blood, which I've been told because like I can't go camping and stuff. Like people get, and this is what happened when I was in Seattle because everyone is like super outdoorsy. They're like, let's go to a mountain for the weekend. I'm like,
let's go hiking.
I'm like, if I go camping, I will get destroyed.
Yeah, me too.
Because I just get bitten.
So I have, and I know they say DEET is bad for you, but I also learned on Monsters Inside Me that DEET is the only thing that will kill.
I don't know what DEET is. It sounds
DEET
like a
is
drug.
like a, it's a
Take
drug
DEET, man.
for bugs. It's bug spray.
Feeling like shit, take DEET.
So I was on this whole thing of like, I'm going to use natural bug sprays. I'm going to use only things that, come from the earth. So I got this citronella essential oil bug spray when we were in Orlando. I had so many goddamn bug bites all over my body. Yeah. And then I learned that I just have to use 98% DEET. And
that sounds like a rap song.
I use 98%
Feeling like
DEET.
shit, use 98 DEET.
And it kind of works for me, but there was one time we were traveling, we were in Puerto Rico, and mosquitoes thrive in moisture. So if it's very humid, hot, if there's like stagnant bodies of water. So we're in Puerto Rico. It was like so humid. It was so hot, tons of rainstorms. I had
rainstorms.
I'm talking like Ashley. Rainstorms.
We brought the rains down from Africa.
No, we did not. I had 38 mosquito bites. They bit me through my jeans, through my shirt, bit me through or whatever, through my clothes.
Yeah.
And they were like, I have scars still.
Yeah.
Welts. It was the most excruciating because once you itch them, then you can't stop.
I'm getting itchy right now. I don't have them.
They were all over my body. I was just a big, I looked like oatmeal. Like I was really lumpy and full of bug bites, and they were like turned into bruises. It was disgusting, but they won't touch Cameron. At all.
Cameron's not real. He's like DJ Christo over there. He's like Jesus Christ.
He's the
Messiah
spirit
that just lives on.
They know.
Yeah.
He's their maker. They don't bite him.
He's like the anti-creepy trait.
Yeah. Well, Unfortunately, if we go anywhere, he'll be fine, and we'll just be. We'll have to wear. We'll make ourselves like mosquito net hats.
Yeah.
And then it just has a just giant.
But they
mosquito
can be
net.
like morning
black.
veils,
Yeah.
or like they're like aesthetically adequate.
And then we'll get little sprayers that spray DEET around us.
Yeah.
So
I'll have one pepper spray and one DEET.
one lavender for the Scorpios.
Yeah. Yeah, all the things. And I'll just have a timer on my phone where it just like sprays out of like some weird area where people think I'm like pissing on the street. And I'm like, no, this is the DEET.
This
Chill
is
out.
just 98%
Chill out.
DEET.
It's the DEET, guys. I'm not doing anything illegal. It's a thing.
Just bring some cinnamon.
We're gonna bring the lavender, the cinnamon.
Just spray some cinnamon on
What did I
ya.
say a second ago?
Cinnamon on your the rames. We're gonna bring the rames down to Africa. We're gonna spray the cinnamon. We're gonna put the 98% DEET on these hoes, and we're gonna be fine. We're gonna travel. We're gonna be good. We're professional adults. 2020. Let's get it on.
Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more of these never things, and then we'll go on to your favorite part of the show. Okay, so next is never go to Texas. Growing up
I want to
in,
go to Texas.
I like Texas. It says growing up in the very country ranch parts of Texas, me and my absolute biggest fear in the world, scorpions. A very pregnant female was crawling
no.
on my ceiling and started having babies that fell on the floor and scattered right above me.
Fuck that
Followed
shit.
by her falling. That's very traumatic for those babies.
That's like my caterpillar story.
yeah, I don't like scorpions, and clearly now we know how to protect ourselves. That guy should have been spraying.
Well, it's good you have a
lavender.
popcorn ceiling because everything looks like a baby.
Yeah, and then they can hold on, but that sucks. So never take a bath. When I was little, about 6 or so, I had finally convinced my parents to let me take a bath. I was going to say, let me take a bath. I was like, poor child, you never took a bath? All by myself.
Dirty.
To run it and everything. I got all my bubbles, washcloths, shampoo, etc. ready to go. I got naked. I got into the tub, turned on the water. To my dismay, the only thing that came out of the faucet were fucking cockroaches.
What?
Hundreds of them. Apparently our apartment complex had an infestation. Can you imagine being 6 and cockroaches coming out of the faucet?
How would they come out of the hole?
Well, because they like crawled up the hole and they made their nests. And then, I mean, how long had that bathtub not been used?
Well, there's some dirty motherfuckers in this.
He was 6. It's not his fault.
Well-
or she, he or she. Carson is probably a boy.
Carson, please just breathe.
Take a
deeply.
shower.
Just breathe deeply and take a shower.
So now it is time for Ashley's favorite part of the show, creepy treats. Are you ready?
Yeah, because you said it'd be nice.
It's going to be nice.
okay.
It's going to be real nice.
gonna
So
be-
entertain the folks while I...
Bum 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 bum. Creepy treats. Dun 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 dun. Wait, should we move this or no?
I'm just
bum,
gonna-
bum 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 bum.
That'll stay
Creepy
there.
treats.
I
Well,
like our theme song. Are you ready?
yeah.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
They might jump out so much.
Stop. She's gonna knock it over. Here we go. Ready and reveal.
Fuck yeah, cookies. You probably made these with cricket shit or something.
No,
Yeah, you did.
no. Try them first. Tell me how.
You did. You.
Red chocolate chip, and I'm really sad 'cause I can't.
She made these with like cricket flour, probably.
Just try them.
Yeah.
I burnt some. Eat the one off the top because I burnt the bottom ones.
Oh.
No, that's good. That one's good.
Whoa, black as night.
It has brown sugar in it. So the brown sugar like caramelized on the bottom. Good, right? Mm-hmm. I was going to put walnuts in them, but I wasn't sure how you felt about nuts. I don't know how you feel about
bad
balls.
in here. Well, I don't do semen. I don't swallow it. But for $55,000, we'll question it.
I'm learning so much about you.
For $55,000, let's talk. What's in this cookie?
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Do you love it?
Yeah.
Do you want some more of it?
Yeah, it tastes like there's like oatmeal in it.
You guessed it. It's cricket flour.
Yeah.
But how good is that?
Oh, good.
So this
And
is,
it's a good source of protein.
and you don't taste it at all.
Except you burnt it, but
I
whatever.
burnt that one. It's the brown sugar. It like burnt on the bottoms, but they don't taste burnt.
Fuck you, brown sugar.
Oh. Hear the crunch. Cricket flour. I believe it's, oh, dang it. I was supposed to give you the package and I forgot.
I like these. I'll eat some more.
Chirps. Chocolate chirps. Cricket cookie mix. 15 crickets per cookie. Original flavor. There's a little
15
cricket.
crickets per fucking cookie?
So the powder, when I poured it in the bowl to mix them, was like just poofed everywhere. And I breathed it in. I was like, oh, I just snorted crickets. So it's basically ground up crickets. There's a little bit of oat flour. There is some baking soda, salt, semi-sweet chocolate chips, granulated brown sugar, and cinnamon.
Wait, let me see the protein.
Cinnamon.
Because crickets have like high protein levels.
I don't know how many it is per cookie because I don't know that I made them the right size.
2 grams per one cookie, which isn't bad considering it's a fucking chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, right. It's like a tasty
We're getting our protein, we're getting our lifts, and we're gaining our gains.
So, not bad. We're supporting, and these I got on, I'm pretty sure I got this bag on Amazon, and you can get the regular, chip on it. You can get the no chocolate chips, but it already has like the cinnamon, the baking soda, everything, so you don't have to add anything. Just a little bit of butter, and you mix it up. And the one thing that was, you have to refrigerate them, so you mix it up, refrigerate them until it gets like hardens, and then you bake them for like 10 minutes.
Like most things that you put in your mouth, just add butter, and it'll be good.
It's delicious though.
Just
but
butter.
you stole my thunder when you're like, you probably made them out of cricket flour.
I did, because I smelled it.
Well, and no, you did not smell it. How did you
smelled
know?
it.
They smell like heaven, full of crickets.
I smelled it.
If crickets,
Ow!
if crickets were in heaven, this is what they would smell like.
I smelled the evil.
What's the last word on the ingredients?
Butt crack? I don't know.
Cricket butt crack?
Iron.
No, not the ingredients.
Cinnamon.
What? Say it.
Cinnamon.
No, say it right.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
I'm not inept. I just like to be an asshole.
Oh my God. So if you guys want to try these, you can get the flour on Amazon. There's also a ton of other crickets, all the stuff that we usually eat is available on Amazon, and we like it. We're still alive.
Yeah, I actually want to try the protein powder. So I'm like,
I want to get we'll try the protein bars too, because I know those have like 9 grams of protein or 12 grams of protein, which is a lot for a tiny little bar, and they're pretty tasty from what I've heard. So
2020 is the year of crickets.
Of bug protein.
Yeah.
Is there any other bug that you looked up or that they talked about in that show that was another like common protein source?
There was a lot of larvae.
Oh.
And
See,
it was kind of weird where like and I think that was also the thing they put in the cheese and stuff, but
I don't know if I mess around with larvae.
I don't fuck with larvae.
It's just even I think
the name makes it sound like phlegm.
Yeah,
like,
and they're usually white and like pussy looking.
Yeah.
And pus comes out of them, or not pus, but like there's guts.
Shit that comes out.
Yeah.
We're anti-shit.
Yeah, and anti-alive.
We like to shit, but we're anti-shit.
I don't want to eat it, and I don't want to eat it if it moves, because then I just feel bad.
Yeah. It reminds me of the movie A Bug's Life, and I'm just like, I don't want to think about those little guys.
They all No, she was saying on the show they put them in cheese, and the larva would eat the cheese,
they
and
all
then
dig around,
they
and then
would
they-
eat the
and then they
cheese
eat
with
it.
the bugs in it.
Yep. Just cruising for a bruising.
He's making faces. He's like negative.
No.
But if you had to and you were going to die, would you do it?
No.
You would die? Or you would just starve?
No.
You eat a leaf?
I don't want things dying in my mouth.
Well, yeah, I don't want...
That's the thing, like, there's, like, different subsets of, like, eating protein. And I'm just, like, if it's already dead, I'm cool. But, like, if it dies in my mouth, that feels weird.
Yeah, if it's roasted, I'm okay with it. If it's like gelatinous and gooey and oozy, we're going to have a problem.
And if it has, like, I don't know. I can't.
Ugh. So we know where we draw the line. So when we apply for Fear Factor, we're going to have to say we are definitely not afraid of larvae. We've eaten it. We love it. It's great.
Yeah, and they're not going to fuck with it. They're going to be like, let's just put her in a nice incubator and see when she cracks.
Full of cinnamon.
Full of Claire's earrings.
So that will do it for this episode of Let's Get Spooky. I'm Leanna Vamp.
And I'm Ashley.
And don't forget to follow us on all social media. We are at Let's Get Spooky Show on Instagram, at Let's Get Spooky on Twitter, and at Let's Get Spooky on the Facebook.
Yes.
You can also watch all of our videos at letsgetspooky.com, and you can download us on iTunes and listen on Spotify. So until next time, Fiends, don't forget to stay spooky. Bye. They're really good.